We are actually headed to this weekend, Shannon, another drift weekend.
Holy fuck, I was not paying attention.
Got a hole in the rad, or two, looks like.
Is your car supposed to crank? Your exhaust is dragging on the ground.
Gotcha. Look at that. Look at how low this guy's car is. Literally like touching the ground. Look at the fitment on this fucking thing.
Bitch.
Oh. No, I really didn't. Yes, I have.
You know all the rules for last time?
Yeah.
Car's protect.
Yeah.
You've got your wristband. Does your car overheat or anything like that?
No, sir.
So if I leave you out a little long,
Yeah.
you'll be good?
I'll be all right.
You'll be happy.
Okay, so I just went out for about 2 laps on the track. I went out for 2 laps on the skid pad. It was all fine. Went out 2 laps on the track. Saw the temps hit up 240. I was like, oh shit, like I gotta get off. Anyways, come back. There's coolant, or not coolant. It's actually just water in there, leaking like everywhere. Anyway, come to find out, there's a hole in the rad there. So somehow something punctured the hole right there. No idea how or what may have done that. Something, I feel like something must have gotten into the fan and it threw the fan through it or something. I have no idea. All right, so here's my temporary forever fix. JB Weld filling in the hole. Will it hold? I don't know. I'm about 50-50.
My car, right? So I didn't want to stop it full. I was trying to like be respectful. I put 10 in there. That's excuse me.
This guy.
Because now his car is broken. No, if I hit that wall, man.
No,
Oh yeah.
It's gonna rub through the fill hole.
You're rubbing all on the inside
And
here.
the gas tank.
this is a fucking 20 grand car right here.
Look at this dude.
Honestly, with these.
But he's taking it to the strip in a second. Alright, couple laps later, starting to get a feel for it. The steering column popped out of here. And every time I'm going to turn, look at that. So obviously that's not ideal. Alright, so I'm just messing around out there, having some fun. Went off-roading a few times, and JB Weld seems to be holding up on the rad. So far no leaks, that's a good thing. You never know if they'll come back. Oh, way too much. You need more. Is this amateur hour? Oh, that's way too much now. Holy fuck. But he just created a bomb.
like I was not paying attention.
There we go.
Is your car supposed to clank?
Yeah.
It clanks and sounds. And it's all good.
Yeah. Look at that. Beauty. Jesus.
We had some fun, that's what.
Oh, I hit the tires out there.
Yeah, the white stack of tires.
No, I really didn't. I think it only crunched it because it's so rusty, you know?
Yeah, you can get a rat hose in the morning.
Look at this. Terrible.
It's terrible, man.
This engine is fantastic. Everything else surrounding it is trash. Look at this. It did not stick out that far before.
That's wild, dude. That's crazy.
This is a big ass engine. Dude, look at how big the exhaust, the headers are.
Yeah, look at. It's a Bel Air, same as the other one.
Yeah, it's the same as the other one, but the other one was chopped and stuff
And
too.
slammed. This thing's fucking lift you to the sky.
Yeah, it's a gasser, straight axle front end.
And look at that dump right there.
Shine the
Look at this. And like motherfuckers are out here.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's me, but today I was like, my
100%,
whole frame rate was like,
Dude, I definitely
There's
hit this
chunks
a
of
few
metal
times.
right there.
yeah.
That's probably.
Well, figured I'd stop in here, get this thing cleaned up. It hasn't been washed in months, and it was so dirty. It's probably gonna be sitting for a little while again, so I figured about time to get her cleaned up. All right, so it was a great weekend at Shannonville. The car held up very well. You know, we had a few minor incidents, but overall the engine and all the components to the engine seem to have held up great. This engine has taken an absolute beating the last two events, and it has held up fantastic so far. Remember, I never even opened up this engine. I left the water pump on. I didn't change seals. I didn't look at the pistons, head gaskets, nothing. I pulled the intake off, did the intake gaskets, did the oil pan gasket, and that's basically about it. And just gave it a nice refresher. Obviously, I just went and washed the car because, you know, it hadn't been washed in a few months now. There's a few things I actually want to address. I kind of noticed that the transmission mount is a little on the weaker side, so I need to make a beefier transmission mount, and so that's one thing that needs to go on the list. I would like to make a bash bar to go on the front. The stock ones are actually not the greatest on these, surprisingly, right? And also, these cars have what we call, actually, give me one sec. Pull the front bumper off, you will see what I'm talking about. Now these cars come with what they call is a U-frame. Now the U-frame was for, you know, northern cars, anything like usually in America, Canada, stuff like that. There's odd things that are different from Japan and other areas like that. So in America and Canada, we got the U-frame on the front of these cars. Now, that's what this is here. This is a tie-in point. There's no structural components attached to it besides the body of the car. So this right here, you can see that is bent and it's got a giant hole in it and stuff. This is the actual rad support right here. This is the U-frame. So the U-frame attaches to the rad support, to the frame rail over there, to the frame rail at the back, in a few different spots. Now there's been talk online whether the U-frame is important or not, because the Japan cars didn't come with the U-frame. Some of them may have, but I'm sure a lot of them didn't, because that's usually what you see online. Now, that being said, if you look at some of the Nissans of like the 90s and stuff, they had on the front end, they didn't even have the crash bar on the front end of those cars. So a lot of them, if they got hit in the front end, they were totaled. So that being said, with Japan not having this U-frame on the front, is that also kind of a point that they had taken away from the car and making it less structural? Who knows? There can be talk about it, but in my opinion, it is a essential point to keeping the chassis tight together. I mean, it would make sense. Obviously, mine is not doing jack all, but I would like to replace it or fix it, whatever the case. I'm sure, you know, we could cut it off, plate it, put some new bar across, because it's only really rotted in this like front section. It's very common. It happens to a lot of these cars that get driven in the salt and whatnot. So that was a problem there. And obviously we got a problem with the rad support. The rad support was rusted out already. You can see this gaping hole right there. So all of that together, you know, it definitely didn't help. The shifter bushings need to be replaced. We kind of melted them when we were welding the shifter. I would like to change the diff back to the 3.4. Right now we have a 411. It makes first gear absolutely useless, and second gear just a little bit too short on most tracks. And third gear would probably still be good with a 3.4 diff. I'm gonna say that. Like I said, we have to figure out this carb situation and getting that to make the car run, you know, at the most optimal point that it can run. Because right now, if you saw in the videos of me drifting, I can drift second gear pretty good. And I'm not sure if I got any video of me hitting third gear, but I was going in third gear and I was actually doing somewhat decent in third gear, but it was breaking up. Now, is that a breakup because it's running too rich? Is it a breakup because it's running too lean? Is the timing off? Now, that being said, with me adding the second fuel pump to the car, I think we are lacking fuel department, or we're just getting too much air for this engine to be able to run. Because again, this is a stock 4.3 V6, you know, they don't need a whole lot of air to make these run, you know. It's a very small engine. They don't make a lot of power stock. And so there's going to be some testing going on here. We also need to fix the exhaust. As you saw, the exhaust got completely ripped off the car. We need to fix the side skirts on the car. There's a bunch of cosmetic stuff that needs to get done, a bunch of structural and a bunch of other stuff. Like the handbrake needs to work because we have to rebleed it for other reasons that are kind of dumb. But yeah, that being said, it was a great weekend. I only went through this one set. I actually put this set on at North Stage for probably 2 or 3 laps at North Stage, and then these ones. So far this car's been great on tires. I also run brand new tires. Personal opinion, brand new tires are the way to go. But here we have it. couple casualties. She still runs. I got to pull it off the trailer right now. And that being said, thank you for watching the video. If you want to see more on this car, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.